Penny, are you home from school yet?
I'm leaving school now.
Okay, that works out then. I have to work a little late today. Just a reminder, tomorrow is the anniversary of Mom's passing. Can you please buy some flowers for us to place on her grave?
Okay.
Also, I hate asking this in a text, but is there anything you want to talk to me about? You seem a bit, I don't know, gloomy these days.
Huh? Everything's fine.
If you say so. I want you to know you can talk to me about anything, anytime. You know I've got your back.
I know, Daddy. Don't worry, I'm fine.
Great, I'll be home around 8 tonight. Would you mind taking care of dinner?
No problem.
Penny, where are you? Why aren't you home?
Sorry, I'm coming home now.
Do you know what time it is? You're still in junior high school. If you can't follow the rules like curfew, how can I trust you? What were you doing all this time?
I was having dinner with my dead mother.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Like I said, I was with my mother.
You were with your mother. You know Mom passed away when you were younger. Honey, I really don't understand what you're talking about.
I know you're lying, Daddy. I know the truth. You two got a divorce because you had an affair. She told me how she was sick and she couldn't take care of me. So the court awarded you my custody. I'm old enough to know the truth. You can't lie to me anymore.
I'm not lying. Tell me where you are. I'm going to come there right now.
I've already left the restaurant and I'm on my way back home now.
Penny, I don't know what's going on.
Don't try and get out of this. Because you can't. This is real. You can't run away from it. You know, I was really surprised when she told me she was my mother. But she showed me a picture of me when I was little. I could tell she often looked at my picture. I could see her looking at it with tears in her eyes.
What the... I don't understand. I saw Connie's body in the casket at her wake. You were probably way too young to remember it, but unfortunately, I'll never forget that.
I don't remember, and so I had no choice but to believe your lie. Never met any of Mom's family, relatives, so I never doubted your lie.
I'm sorry you didn't get to know Mom's family. They never approved of me, so we weren't close.
But Mom chose you over them, right? And you still cheated on her? Mom was crying. She wants to live with us again. She said if you're still single, she wants to give you another chance.
Wait. Let's calm down for a second. Penny, I never cheated on your mother, I swear. And I'm really sorry, baby, but Mom is dead. I swear. I don't know who you met, but she isn't your real mother.
But I've met her 3 times already. It didn't feel weird or anything. She knows things about me, things about you, Daddy.
Penny, I would never lie to you. You're too precious to me. And I would never knowingly make you sad. Don't you believe me?
I want to, but...
I want to know everything from the beginning. Do you have the contact details of the person claiming to be Mom?
Yes.
I see. Once you're home, please text it to me. It may be a mutual friend or someone we haven't seen in a while. I don't know what they're up to, but there must be a reason they went through all this trouble.
I guess so. I don't really understand. But I'm sorry, Daddy.
It's okay, baby. I know you miss Mom. If you could be with her again, you would. I feel the same.
Yeah.
I thought it would make you sad, so I tried my best not to talk about her. But from now on, I'll talk about Mom so she can be part of our lives. So can you hurry home? I don't know what your intentions are, but how dare you try to get close to Penny by telling her you're her dead mother?
Oh, so the jig is up. Anthony, how have you been?
Let's stop with the niceties, Juliet. What do you mean the jig is up? Is this a game to you?
That's not a nice way to greet your sister-in-law. Just when Penny and I were becoming close, you had to find out. I have to think of another plan.
Plan? What do you want?
Well, I guess I can tell you. And Penny would have found out anyways with the marriage and all. I just wanted Penny to approve, so I pretended to be her mother. Just a little.
Marriage? Approve? What do you mean?
Our marriage? You and I should get married. It must be difficult raising a girl all on your own, especially around Penny's age. If you marry me, I'll be able to help Penny during this difficult stage in her life.
Excuse me, but I really don't understand what you're saying. Me marrying you. Hang on a sec. Aren't you already married?
Oh, don't worry about me and my husband. I'll divorce him.
Huh?
Anyhow, do you remember when you and Connie told my parents you're going to get married? And my parents were against it?
Yeah.
They were against you two getting married because I told them what a terrible person you were. I thought Connie would break up with you because our parents didn't approve.
What? Why did you do that? I mean, I never did anything to you. Because of that, Connie and I had to elope.
Because I liked you, Anthony. I've always liked you. But you were into my little sister and you fell for Connie and not me. And to forget you, I had to marry a man who was filthy rich. I had to settle. I told Connie I wanted you, but Connie wouldn't give you to me. It's all her fault. I mean, she took you from me. And because of that, my life has been a nightmare. Though my husband has a great salary, he's ugly, dense, and he smells. And our son, he takes after his father.
What an awful family.
I was afraid I'd be surrounded by these fugly people until the day I died. I really believed this. And around that time, I happened to see you and Penny walking around town together.
So what?
I knew it was fate. Even though you're older, you aged well, Anthony. You still look great. Penny definitely has her genes. She's a beautiful young woman. My dream family would be you as my husband and Penny as my daughter. Don't you agree? People often commented that Connie and I looked so alike we could be twins. I think this is a great opportunity for you as well, Anthony.
I don't think so at all. My wife is and will forever be only Connie. I don't understand what you're saying, Juliet. I'm shocked and furious you try to pretend to be Penny's mother. It's just wrong. Don't ever bother us again. I really need you to stop, Juliet. You waited for Penny outside her school and then tried to force her into a car?
You and Penny were ignoring my texts. It's all your fault. Besides, Penny and I spent time together in the past, so why can't I take her out for a drive?
She was only with you because you deceived her into thinking you were her mother. I've spoken to the police and filed a report.
What? You went to the police? Just because I wanted to spend some time with Penny?
That's not all that you've done. You continuously text us and call us. You stalk our house and Penny's school. Just the other day, our surveillance camera caught you trying to break into our house. You're on the verge of committing a crime. This is your final warning.
Why won't you choose me, Anthony? Connie is dead in the ground, and her sister is offering to marry you. I don't see what the problem is. There's little difference between Connie's DNA and mine.
DNA? What are you talking about? I don't care about DNA. I married Connie because of her kind personality and the way she smiled when she looked at me. Maybe you and Connie look alike, but you two have nothing in common. You used Connie's name to try to get close to Penny. Manipulating my daughter's emotions is not a quality I find attractive. Not only that, you talk about your family and want to abandon them. I don't want someone like that in my family. There's something seriously wrong with you. I have absolutely no intention whatsoever of even being in the same room as you, let alone marrying you. I see. You're pretty stupid, huh? Someone like me is offering to marry you and you refuse? Do you have any idea how much money my husband makes? Over double, maybe even quadruple what you make. If I divorced him, can you imagine how much money I'd get? Penny would be set for life. But you want to throw away this wonderful opportunity? I don't know why I expected a low-level factory worker to make smart decisions. I guess that's why you chose Connie. All she had was a good personality. That's right. There's no way I would fall for a woman who judges men only for their wealth and looks. But it's a good thing I didn't divorce my husband. He's a good plan B. Though I hate to think I'll live the rest of my life with these fugly people, I have to admit I enjoy my life of comfort. And I can look down on you from the lap of luxury so you can rue the day you refused my generous offer. I guess I'll watch you and Penny live a mediocre life and laugh. I wonder who'll be leading the mediocre life. What? It'll be you and Penny, of course. I contacted your husband. I knew which company he worked for. I sent him screenshots of the text you sent Penny and me. Excuse me? But it seems he's been thinking of divorcing you as well. He isn't happy that you never do any housework, and you often lash out at your son. Your attitude is an issue as well. He thanked me. He was worried about getting custody of your son, but thanks to the text, he's sure the judge will side with him. You're lying, right? My husband is head over heels in love with me. He does whatever I ask him to do. Plus, he doesn't have the courage to leave me. Everyone has their limit. He wanted to talk to you about this many times, but you always ignored him. If I married you, Penny would be set for life? What an arrogant thing for someone like you to say. You're ripping off someone else and trying to come off like the hero who's going to save my poor daughter. Stop. You know I was just joking about that. Text my husband. I was just fooling around in the text you sent him. I don't think that'll change anything. Then marry me. I wanted to divorce my husband because I happened to see you and Penny. It's your fault, so take responsibility. Juliet, you and I, we aren't family, friends, or anything. You are the one who started this crazy scheme, hurting your family, Penny, and me. You're the one that needs to take responsibility. What? What'll happen to me? Anthony, what do you think I should do? I really don't care at all. Oh, and there's one more thing. You said all Connie had was a good personality. But you, Juliet, there's nothing good about you. You're empty inside and out. After that, Juliet was served with divorce papers and kicked out of her husband's house. She said she didn't want a divorce and refused to sign the divorce papers. He took her to court where his petition for a divorce was granted and they were finally legally divorced. Juliet was expecting a large settlement, but because she did nothing, no housework, no child raising during their marriage, and she tried to cheat on her husband with me, her husband was able to sue her for emotional distress. She ended up receiving a small settlement of only a few $1,000s. Her husband told her parents what had happened, which led them to contact me to see if Penny was okay. We cleared the air after Juliet's lies about me. It had been 10 years since Penny last saw her grandparents. Their reunion was filled with laughter and tears of joy. Penny was thrilled to hear stories of her mother from her grandparents. Juliet begged her parents to let her move back home. But once her parents learned that Juliet had lied about me and everything she'd done with her family and pretending to be Connie, they were enraged. They told her she was no longer welcome in their home and wanted nothing to do with her. It seems appropriate to someone who wanted to throw away her own family. As for me, I often talk about Connie with Penny, which has led to great conversations between Penny and I. I will continue to put Penny's happiness above everything that I do and protect her at all costs. Penny's a part of Connie and I want her to be happy, no matter what.
Jane, how's Brock doing? He's in 2nd grade now, so if you have any new videos of him, I'd love to see them.
Why didn't you take videos on the days you had him?
But it's just once a month. Kids grow up so fast.
You still had plenty of time to take videos. I've had enough of you sending me these kinds of texts all the time. I'm letting you see him, so can you stop pestering me? I'm busy.
I'm sorry, but I'm so lonely living apart from Brock. We might be divorced, but I'm still his father. I think it's normal to want to know how my own child is doing.
You're the one who wanted a divorce. You should have thought about being lonely before you did that.
Well, I just couldn't stand being with you after you betrayed my trust.
Mark, you're the one who chose to be separated with me over staying together with Brock. You knew that I'd get custody, didn't you? And your job has erratic schedules, so it's not unusual for you to come home in the morning. You don't even come home on a lot of nights.
Well, that's true, but I think you're diluting the issue here.
Whatever.
What's Brock doing? Can I speak to him just a bit?
No. He's taking a shower.
Okay. He's grown up so much that he can have a shower alone.
Are you done?
Okay, sorry, I know you're busy. Oh, I had an idea. What about giving Brock a smartphone? He was watching YouTube on our phones back in kindergarten, so he could text me fine.
No, he's too young.
But how about if he's only allowed his phone at home? I'll pay for the phone and the monthly plan, of course. Jane, it'll be less trouble for you if Brock has a phone. I can contact him directly.
He can have one when he's a bit older, but like I said, he's still too young. This is my parental decision, and it's final.
All right. But you used to let me call him at first. Why so different these days? Did something happen?
Nothing in particular.
In that case, I get that you're busy, but I'd appreciate you letting me contact him more often.
Mark, I know you're Brock's dad, but I might get remarried. I just started to think that it was a little too much. It'll be your fault if Brock doesn't bond with his new stepfather.
I'd rather he bonded with me.
You're being ridiculous. You're not thinking about what's best for Brock.
Come on, I was just kidding. But I would like to see him more, and I did want custody. I really wanted to live together with Brock.
We always end up talking about this, which is why I don't like you contacting me. We've been separated for a year now, so you should understand your place. When he's a little older, I'll give him a smartphone, so just be patient until then.
When he's older, he won't want to talk to me.
That's up to Brock himself. Anyway, all I want from you is to just keep paying child support. I only want contact when we arrange for you to meet him.
That's taking it too far. I just want you to give it a little thought about me talking to Brock more often. We said that we'd discuss and deal with raising him together, right?
You're being a real pain. I'm the one with custody. I'm the one who has to look after him 24/7. Don't make me repeat myself ever again. Mark, pick up.
What do you want? You won't let me see Brock on my visit days. You ignore my texts. You broke your promises for months, and not even a simple apology.
Look, I'm sorry, but this is an emergency.
What is it?
Brock's dead.
What?
Yesterday, he was playing with his friends when he fell down the stairs of a pedestrian bridge. He hit his head bad.
Huh? I don't understand what you're saying. Yesterday? Why are you telling me now? Wouldn't most people have told me yesterday?
I was so shocked that I passed out. That's why I was late letting you know. I'm sorry.
You're kidding, right?
I'm telling the truth. Why would I lie about something like that?
I don't believe you.
I get it. I know you don't want to believe it, but it's true.
Then I'm heading over to you now. Where's Brock?
He's with the funeral home. There's a lot of external damage, so they're fixing him up. They said that we wouldn't want to see his body as he is. So you won't see him until the funeral.
You've already planned for the funeral?
Of course. Mark, you're acting weird. Brock's gone, but I don't think you're taking this seriously.
I'm sorry. I'm finding it hard to believe. Something's fishy.
I get it, but we have to cremate him and give him a proper funeral. So I was speaking with the funeral home. The funeral fees are pretty expensive. They're saying it'll cost 25 grand.
$25,000? Really? That much?
He left us so young, so the least we could do is give him a good funeral. Don't you think so, Mark?
Well, of course I don't think we should be penny pinching here.
Right? So I'll get $9,000 together. I want you to pay for the rest. $16,000.
I see.
Is that too much? Can you bring it in cash to tomorrow's funeral? Hey, Mark? Where are you? Mark, why are my texts on red? You have to come tomorrow. Good morning. Is this Mark's number?
Yes, that's me. Who's this?
I'm Jane's friend. My name's Holly.
Oh, Jane's friend.
What's wrong with you? It's Brock's funeral today. But it sounds like you haven't even checked Jane's texts.
Oh yeah, that.
Why are you acting so dismissive? Don't you even want to be at your own son's funeral? Aren't you ashamed to call yourself a father?
What?
You're the worst. Jane's been an emotional wreck after losing Brock. But you won't even try to support her? And he was your only child, right?
Brock is my beloved son, yes.
The funeral starts at 1 p.m. Make sure you're there. It's at Jane's house. And maybe it's not my place to butt in, but make sure you bring the funeral fees too. Jane was crying and saying she couldn't afford it all on her own.
The funeral's at home, but it costs 25 grand. You guys should get your story straight. I'm not gonna fall for your lies.
Lies? Mark, I know this must be difficult for you, but Brock is gone. You have to accept the truth. It's on the news on the internet about the 7-year-old who fell off the pedestrian bridge. Why don't you go check?
I did check.
Then why aren't you replying to Jane? Do you realize how difficult it's been for her? Organizing her own child's funeral by herself? Even if you're divorced, you're being awful.
You guys are the ones being awful here. Trying to milk another child's tragic death for your own financial gain. Brock wasn't the child who was on the news. You just used that story because it happened to be a kid with the same age who lived close.
What on earth are you saying?
I've seen through all your lies. Brock passing away, the funeral. I know it's all one big fat lie.
I don't get it.
I didn't get it at first either. I met Brock on the same day that he supposedly died. I wondered what the lying was for, but it seems like it was all for the money.
Huh?
You don't have to pretend anymore. I know you're the one giving orders to Jane here. I couldn't get hold of Brock, and Jane was acting strange, so I dug deeper. Then I found out that Jane started living with you.
She was really struggling as a single mom, so I let her stay with me.
You were taking Jane's salary and Brock's child support, weren't you? It seems like you're ripping off a lot of people through the guise of a therapist.
Don't you dare accuse me of ripping people up. That's not fair.
Jane might have cheated on me, but she would never do anything to harm Brock. You started demanding money from her. Things got tight for her financially, so she got her sister Anna to look after Brock.
You're twisting what happened. I'm just helping people in need.
I got a private investigator to track down Anna's address so I could go visit Brock. She told me that Jane was being brainwashed.
Brainwashed?
Jane apparently said that she didn't have the money to support him, so she left him with her sister. Anna said that she couldn't get through to Jane, that she couldn't convince her to stop going back to you.
Jane did that of her own free will. It's not my fault.
That's true. It's what Jane decided, of her own free will, what would be best for Brock. But Brock was alive. You knew as well, didn't you? But you still pretended, and were going to rip the funeral money off me. That's fraud.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just what Jane told me.
I'm saying that you're the one who was pulling the strings. I did some investigation on you as well. Even if I just went after you directly, you could just easily deny everything.
I haven't done anything wrong. Everyone just comes to me with their problems.
See, trying to deny responsibility from all this. Jane isn't the only one living in your house, is she? I got those people living with you to cooperate with me.
I can see why Jane would seek comfort in another man. You just give me the creeps. Sniffing around other people's business. No wonder she cheated.
I think it's Jane's own fault that she got herself in this situation. She still needs a rest for her mental health. But I'll make sure she goes to see a proper, licensed therapist. Not a fake one like you. Not just Jane, but all of your other victims too.
How do you plan on doing that? Everyone's seeing me out of their own freedom.
If you're arrested, I guess that solves the problem.
Me? Arrested?
I think there are plenty of things you should be charged for. Firstly, the house you live in isn't even your own. You've been told to leave by the homeowner, haven't you?
The homeowners have asked me to live here. It's not as if I was the one who chose this house.
Also, how are you able to live so extravagantly despite being unemployed? You're getting money from Jane and the others, but you're not paying any taxes, are you? That would be tax evasion. I'm sure the police would also love to hear about your involvement in this funeral fee fraud.
It's not as if I did all of this. It wasn't me. Everyone's just choosing to come to me with their problems. So the chances that I would be caught are pretty slim. Got it?
The police are the ones who get to decide that. It's true that it would be hard to convict you for your involvement without testimony from those you manipulated. I don't know for sure if you'll be arrested. But if I can free Jane and the others from your control, that's good enough for me.
You wasted a whole lot of money and time on this. You must have a lot of spare time.
I'm used to this sort of thing from work. Researching other people, that is.
Huh?
It seems like Jane didn't tell you. I write for a weekly magazine. Society might hate people like me, but I don't show mercy to the wicked. Even if the law forgives you, I won't. I'll reveal everything to the world.
Are you saying you'll write an article about me?
Stories about brainwashing are hot right now. My boss has given me the go-ahead. This is what these magazines are for.
You'd make an article, even if your own family are involved? This is why everyone hates the press. What a pathetic existence you lead.
You can call me whatever names you want. Holly, you used a fake name to be a psychic, didn't you? I know all about that as well, so there's no hiding. I'm planning to expose all of that too.
Okay, I get it. I apologize about your son's funeral. I'll convince Jane to go live at home. So will you let this go? If you want money, you can have it.
I don't want your money. At first I was just looking for Jane so I could see Brock. But now that I know all about you, I've got all sorts of people working with me. There are plenty of people who are worried about their family members that you brainwashed.
Fine. I'll let everyone go home. That's what you want, right?
That won't cut it. I've already reported you to the police.
What?
Of course. If I didn't report you, who knows when you'll try and pull off your next scam? I can't let you get away with that. But I really didn't think I myself would become the target of your deceit.
Really? What do you mean?
The best way to arrest someone is to catch them red-handed. Oh, I've arrived at Jane's house.
To do what?
To join the funeral, of course. Of course, the police decided to attend as well. You don't mind, do you? Afterwards, I entered Jane's house with the police, who intended to catch the scammers in the act. Jane and Holly were arrested. On account of it being her first crime and being coerced by Holly, Jane was found not guilty. Holly was sentenced for multiple charges of fraud related to her scams and psychic business. Brainwashing in itself wouldn't usually be a crime. An adult would be held responsible for their own crimes, even if manipulated by another. It would have been difficult to do anything against Holly, but in her case, she herself did break many laws. I wrote this whole incident as an article for my magazine. It didn't become such a huge story, but it seemed to ripple through the locals who knew her. She definitely won't be able to practice as a therapist anymore, that's for sure. I'm hoping that she doesn't victimize anyone else again. Now, Jane and the other victims are getting legitimate therapy to undo the damage and brainwashing Holly did to them. Jane's parents died young, so she doesn't have them for support. So we decided it would be best for Brock to live with me instead of Anna. Regarding the custody, even if Jane was manipulated, I'm honestly worried about her ability to care properly for Brock. I'm planning to discuss this with her thoroughly after she's done with her therapy. If there's one saving grace for her, it's that she made sure Brock stayed away from Holly. I like to think she knew what was best for him. There's no way the three of us will live together, but I want Brock to feel that he's loved and we're doing what's best for him.